I think when you go see the pyramids in person, you'll be very impressed. I mean, the only downside about the pyramids itself is Cairo's not the best place to visit in my opinion. It's a little bit all over the place. It's hectic. It's crazy, and then you've got like these amazing pyramids just on the outskirts of it, and it seems to be quite strange in the sense that I feel like there's not much activity going on in terms of the exploration and digging for more. I don't know, like more things because
Yeah.
it seems as though there's a lot more that's not on show. Now I don't know if that's got something to do with what's his name, Zawi Hawass, and
Zahi
who
Hawass. Yeah,
Zahi
he's in charge
Hawass,
of
yeah.
Egyptian antiquities. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know like what he's permitting and not permitting, but it feels as though like that site in particular, it's just been milked for tourists and making as much money as possible. What I've noticed as well was because I have been looking around and looking inside, in comparison to when I was in Luxor. When in Luxor you go to the Valley of the Kings and you go down into the tombs and you actually see like what the tombs should look like with all these paintings and drawings that are thousands of years old. The inside of the pyramids, in my opinion, do not look like tombs. Like it
Well,
just seems very
they're not
clear that
tombs. Yeah.
yeah. But that's the narrative that is pushed, and so many people that question that and go against it have just faced scrutiny for suggesting that oh no, they're not tombs.
And that's exactly what we're looking at is a paradigm shift of information. The pyramids of Egypt, the Great Pyramids, the three, have characteristics of everything that we're talking about with advanced sophistication that is beyond anything that dynastic Egyptians were capable of. Like the first thing, let's think about the Great Pyramid for a second. It's 2.5 million stone blocks that average between 3 and 10 tons each. Now you have a limestone outer casing, but the center of the Great Pyramid, shafts that are up in the king's chamber that are over 100 feet above the valley floor have granite blocks built in seamlessly and perfectly cut into walls and above ceilings that are 10, 15, 20 tons or more, and it would be impossible with ramps and lever systems and all these things to try to explain how those were put into place and how they were put there. But when you study those pyramids and you look into the history of it, we're told, for instance, that Khufu built the Great Pyramid, and it was to house his tomb, right? Well, there's never been a tomb or any pharaohs or evidence of pharaohs in any of the three pyramids and any ever in history. It's wild to think that we're actually told that that's what their purpose was, even though those things have never been found, and there's not even any evidence that those ever existed. You brought up another key point a second ago called the Valley of the Kings. The Valley of the Kings is where literally all or most dynastic Egyptians in Egypt were buried. So you walk down and you see their tombs. Exactly, that's where they were buried. That they were buried there and not the pyramids. We don't. There's not one piece of writing that's genuine that's ever been found in any of the pyramids associating them with Khufu and other dynastic rulers that were there. There's not one. The whole story around the Khufu cartouche in the Great Pyramid was has a lot of evidence to support that it was a forgery from the 1800s that was done by archaeologists in there, and that there's never been the name Khufu. It was like it was created for some kind of an agenda of history to help us to explain why they were built. So if someone says, wait a minute, so the pyramids aren't tombs, then what was their purpose? You open up this huge can of worms for trying to understand why they were done, when they were done, how they were built. So if someone just says, oh, well, they're tombs, and then the conversation's over. Then like, okay, so they're just tombs. The rest of it doesn't really matter as much. And that's really the purpose of, I think, them doing that.